Hey nurses, looking for exclusive discounts? Nurse.org has you covered with deals on everything. Save big on the essentials you need to excel in your career. Don't miss out. Visit nurse.org/discounts for the latest discounts made just for you. You're listening to Nurse Converse, presented by Nurse.org, a collaborative podcast amplifying diverse nurse voices. Get ready for a dose of inspiration, a sprinkle of education, and a whole lot of community.
Hey guys, my name is Brian, and I am one of the newest hosts to the Nurse Converse podcast, and I am super excited to be here. And in today's topic, we're going to be talking about the rewards and challenges of being a male nurse and a father. And I got a lot to go over because it's something I'm passionate about. It's something I talk about a lot, and it's an amazing topic, even though on Instagram and all my other socials, I talk about money and side business and investing. But this is one of the biggest things why I went into all of that. But let's just go into a quick introduction about who I am and what I do and the businesses that I have. And then we'll go into the topics that we want to talk about. So again, I'm Brian. I'm a nurse of 12 years. I work in New York City in the EP lab. I'm a dad of 2 kids. I have a 3-year-old and a 2-year-old, and also obviously a husband. And I went into nursing because my parents were nurses. I'm Filipino, so it just like runs in our blood. Both my parents came from the Philippines, went to nursing, and then when it was time for me in high school to choose a major, they were like, you know what, just put it down just so there's something there. And if you don't like it, drop out of it and pursue something else. But obviously, by the time maybe I thought about changing up, it was like 2 years into the program. And then I was like, you know what, I might as well finish on time and start working. So I went to the University of Buffalo and I did exactly that. I finished nursing and then I decided to start working about a year after I graduated. And because my parents were nurses, they used their connections, so we networked. And I got into the same hospital that they worked in. And to be honest, it's also the same hospital that I was born in and the same hospital that my brother works at. So it's like a family affair. But I started off in this heart failure unit that I actually loved a lot because of the coworkers I have. My manager was great, and all the coworkers I had were amazing. We were all around the same age. We all went out to like food and drinks after work, and we all became like a little family. But obviously, it wasn't always like that. When I first started, I was super anxious about coming into work. Even though my preceptor was amazing, we're still super close today. I would go into work like once I was off orientation because the work list and the ratios were pretty tough. It was like 1 to 5, sometimes 1 to 6 because we were pretty short staffed at the time. And the work lists were long, trying to figure out what to do, how to time manage and all that. And it was super hard. Got super anxious because I wanted to be the best nurse that I could be. And my shift would start at 7 a.m., but I would get to the hospital at like 6:15, 6:30, and I would go to the unit with my headphones on. I would ask what my assignment's going to be, and then I would go into one of the back rooms where there was a computer and start looking up everything about the patient so I know what to do. I know what kind of report I'm getting. I know what I'm going to say during rounds. And all that stuff always gave me anxiety, gave me palpitations. And I just didn't want to not know anything. And that really, really killed me because my drive to work is like 40 minutes in, obviously 12-hour shifts, and then another 40 minutes to an hour back, depending on rush hour. So my days were like 14 hours long. And doing those multiple days a week started like really, really burning me out. And that's what started me with like the challenges that I started to face. And there's a few that I eventually overcome. But the first one was just being a new nurse and understanding that you gotta time manage and the assignments you're gonna get as the new nurse, because you have to learn. I don't know if this is bullying or not, but you're gonna get some of these really tough assignments because you're the new guy, and I guess that's how they baptize you through fire. So I started getting a lot of these super hard assignments. It was really getting at me, and it was, and I'm not the person that really likes to ask for help. I don't know if that's just because I'm a guy and we're like that. We don't like asking for help. So I would just buckle down and try to get everything done by 7 p.m. And if I didn't, I would stay late and make sure it gets done. But that ended up getting worse and worse because speaking to the assignments that I would be given, or any of the guide nurses on the floor that would be given, obviously being more physical, being more, I guess you could be intimidating, or just being a guy in general, you would be given a lot of these problem patients as in the ones that become verbally abusive or physically abusive towards the staff. And that's exactly what I got. And I could tell you the exact story right now where it was 7 a.m. I already read up on my patients, but the call light keeps going off on this one patient that I know is going to be in my assignment. I remember this day like it was yesterday. So I go in there, introduce myself. I'm Brian. I'm going to be your nurse today. And then already screaming at me, saying that he's in pain. I'm like, okay, do a little pain assessment. I look to see what he's ordered, and I said, I'll get him his pain med. End up being like one Percocet, one tablet. And then I bring back the one tablet, and I say, this is it. Here's your one tablet. And he wasn't having it. He said he wanted two. And I said, well, this is what is ordered. I could get like the nurse practitioner or physician to come in here so they could do their assessment because they're the ones that order the medications. And he absolutely hated it that I said like he had to take one now and then we would reassess the protocol. So he lunged at me and tried legitimately choking me out on against the wall. And that's when we got into a little scuffle in the room. And then I was able to get out of the room, and then security was up there. I had to go to a different room, like a safety room or whatever. Long story short, ended up having to press charges, and the guy was fired out of the health system, and I was given like a day off. One day. It's forever been stuck in my head that I should never put myself in that kind of position ever again, even though I don't really think I did anything wrong. I was just saying what needed to be done, and this is it. And I will get whoever I need in here to help you get what you need. And then, like, when I looked at the notes, it showed that this guy was physically abusive. And I was like, why did I get this assignment? And how come the last few nurses were all dudes? Night shift, day shift. And obviously, it also made me feel a little bit better that it was me, because of the coworkers I really liked, were all on the floor, and they're smaller ladies. And if it happened to them, would they have survived? Like, would they have gotten out? Would they have been able to fight back a little bit to get out? And I don't know. I don't know. But so that's where I talk about that me just being a guy was, and being able to be strong enough to get out of there was a huge thing for me. And I guess that's like the protector in me that's saying like, okay, even though I went through that, luckily it was me. Thankfully it was me. But, and then the next challenge came a few months after, which was horribly depressing for me, was that one of my best friends worked on the same floor as me, hung out so much. And then he eventually, we're the same age, like 2 years older than me. He ended up getting lung cancer and then got really sick. So he had to go out on leave, and then ended up in the MICU and passed away. And this was like one of my favorite people in the world. And going to the same floor that we worked on just started eating at me, knowing that everything still goes on after someone that I was super close with passes away. So these were slowly breaking me to want to leave the floor. And then once I started seeing all the other coworkers that I really liked working with transfer out, finish their NP, and go to the CTICU or whatever they were doing, life was happening for them, and they ended up transferring off the floor or leaving. I was like the last one left of the group that we all hung out with and got really close with. And that really sucked for me, because then I was stuck with all these new nurses and a lot of senior nurses, and I didn't know where I fit. So I started looking for places to transfer. And luckily, I was able to transfer to the EP lab where I am today. And that, it didn't start off like a happy ending for me. It's such a specialized field that the nurses there, the doctors there. Everyone thinks they're the best. So when I was brought down there as a 26-year-old at the time, where this is usually a place where there's like 30, 40-year-old and retirement age people there, they try to figure out how I got there, what made me good enough to be there, because it's such a closed off place. Like you have to know someone to get in, kind of thing.
Enjoying this episode? We want to hear from you. Share your feedback and support your favorite host by completing a quick survey, and you'll be entered for a chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card. Head over to Nurse.org/podcast and let us know what you think.
So again, nurse bullying happened again, and I was given the assignments without anesthesia there. So I would be the sedating nurse doing morphine, Versed, fentanyl, 12 hours straight after I got orientation. And it is super taxing doing that because you're the runner, you're the documenter, and you're the sedating nurse all at once. It got to me a little bit until I was able to speak up and become more confident in who I am as a nurse, as a guy, and be like, hey, let's switch this up a little bit. And that's what brought me to me being better as a nurse, me fully being comfortable in my own skin and understanding who I was. And then obviously COVID happened next, and that also burned me out like crazy, because that was also the time where I became a father. I had 2 kids under 2 during COVID, and not being able to get too close to my kids because I was working COVID units, it sucked. It really did. But why do I stay in nursing? This is where it gets really good for me. It's because as a man, as a guy, the work-life balance and the flexibility is amazing, because working these 3 days a week and having 4 days off, who gets that type of schedule? Who gets that? Even though I'm gone for like the whole day, for those days I work, I have 4 full days with my kids to do whatever I want with them, with my family, with my wife, to do what we want to do. Family fun days. And using and leveraging those days to maximize the time for my family and my businesses is amazing for me. And as a guy, as a person that wants to provide, as a person that wants to be the breadwinner, nursing gave me the opportunity to start businesses, to always have money available because of the stability. Nursing is like probably the most stable job, especially where I'm at in New York. We're in a union, constantly get a few percent raises every year, and the stability is there. And since there's such a shortage, overtime is always there if I needed it. So being able to provide money, financial security, job security, health insurance, all of that made me start becoming happier being a nurse. And the nursing structure of time management throughout these crazy work shifts that I've been doing for years helped me be able to structure my days off to be able to build out these businesses, plan out all the time for my kids, and just do more during the days off. Again, utilizing and leveraging the time that I have. And also, the personal fulfillment is amazing. Where I'm at in the EP lab, I actually feel like I'm helping these patients now. Whereas when I was on the floor, I felt like I was just going through a work list, pushing meds and wiping butts sometimes. Like that's really what I felt like. And that didn't fulfill me. It didn't light the passion in me. But now in the EP lab, 100% different mindset. I love going to work. I love doing what I do. And I feel like it impacts the patients. When me and the patients could laugh or smile and talk about everything together, it opens up a different type of caring, the type of caring that I want to give. And that is amazing, because that's also the care I give to my family. And I love doing that. And again, going into the time and being able to do so much outside of work makes me come into work super happy. I'm not burnt out anymore, knowing that I have these side hustles and all these skills that I used, that I got from my days off. Like I became a real estate investor. I learned to invest. I got the skills to be a certified cardiovascular nurse, so that upped my pay from the hospital. And then I also became an instructor for BLS and ACLS. That also side income that I could have rolling in whenever I want to teach classes. All of these creating multiple streams of income goes back to me being that guy that wants to provide for his family. And it is just awesome for me because the overview of my investing is I have over a $1.3 million net worth now because of the overtime that I did, all the skills that I've learned. I was able to monetize and put the money into my brokerage accounts, whether it's my 403B from my hospital, whether it's my Roth IRA, whether it's my taxable brokerage account or my crypto account or my real estate. I was able to learn all of these on my days off, or even like if I was on break at work, I'd pop in my headphones and listen to like podcasts and learn while I'm on break, constantly learning. And that's like what the nursing profession does. You have to keep learning your own trade too to keep up with the times. And I use that skill that I learned from nursing to put it towards all my multiple streams of income, the businesses and all of that. And again, it goes into that time management. Nursing gave me that. And being able to do all that just shows how great the nursing profession is, especially if you're a guy looking into going to nursing. Obviously, it takes a certain type of person to become a nurse, but once you're in it and you're good at it, everything kind of becomes easy because you know what you're working for, especially if you're like me, you have a family and kids to provide for. You just going to work guarantees you the health insurance. You just going to work, make sure you get paid. So there's a roof over your head, there's food on the table. And if you needed extra income, the overtime is always there. And if you needed, and if you wanted to find out other ways to make more income, you have the days off to figure out something to do during those to monetize, which here I am on Nurse.org. I also have social media, Instagram, YouTube. I leverage all those into one using this nursing platform where we are a community of amazing people that want to help each other. I'm leveraging all my knowledge from the 12 years of nursing that I want to give to you guys. And especially if you're a guy that's looking for more, this is going to be the way to do it. Leveraging the nursing profession to do it, the overtime, leveraging the money to build out the business, to invest, to buckle down, work hard for 2-3 years, make as much money as you can to set you up for the future. That's what I like to talk about. That's everything that I love going into. Even at work, people ask me what they would do, what I would do if I were them. Be like, get out of debt, invest. Nursing, as great as it is, I don't see myself working in it until I'm 65. I'm going to do my best until I can't anymore because I'm building out other things on the side that I want to do as a passion. And that's whether it's 10 years from now, which would be perfect. I'd be 45. My kids would just become teenagers. I want to be home for that. And I believe nursing will help me do that because of the pay that we get where I'm at in New York and the investments that I've made and everything that is going on. So again, going into nursing, if you're a guy, is such a great idea. And don't be afraid of what random people on the internet are going to say, that if you're a guy in nursing, it's not a real manly job or anything like that. Don't worry about that. Do it for you, do it for the passion, and be the best nurse you could be when you become a nurse. And guys, thank you so much for listening in. Being a provider is all about, for your family, is all about working hard and having a goal, being able to time manage. And if you're a guy going into nursing, let me know why you want to do it. And I'm going to tell you, yes, you should, because it is an amazing profession. And I think it was the best decision I've ever made in my life, and I don't really see myself doing anything outside of it as much because everything else that I do involves me being a nurse. So if you're a nurse that went through anxiety in the beginning or going through anxiety now, let me know in the comments below. Let me know if you're trying to transfer off your unit because you're just not feeling happy there. I want to know all the stories. So thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace.
Thanks for joining Nurse Converse, brought to you by Nurse.org. Help us grow by leaving a 5-star rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Nurse.org supports nurses with career and education tips, life advice, and breaking news. Thank you for all you do and for being you.